Well, we've got a couple of folks that went low bat, so I know we've lost a couple of people.
Yeah, and Dana Aiken texted me and said her internet just went out. And is there, so.
And we've got somebody broadcasting from a 4-H event.
Yes.
Who says you can't be in two places at once?
Right. That is correct. That is correct. Okay.
Better living through technology. I don't know about better.
Hey, we were able to get together. Nobody had to drive.
I'm in Oklahoma.
Yes.
Carlene is
I'm in a
somewhere up in
different
the
time zone.
panhandle.
A different time zone. Yeah.
Yes. So
And
I think
Carlena's driving. Yeah.
I think that everybody is back, although I think we are, right?
28's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know I don't remember what we started with.
I think I saw 34 at one point.
Okay. Okay. So I guess this is real quick. It's 11:49. So we want to finish as close to noon as possible. I just want to ask, I'm sorry to the trainers if you got kicked out early and didn't get to finish your sentence. I apologize.
It's okay.
We just weren't,
it was great. Don't worry.
Didn't want to put a time on it, only because what would have happened if we put a time on it is everybody would have been kicked out every single time and it would have taken more time. So I apologize though. We're working on it. Usually we all stay together, and I just thought that the breakout rooms would be more helpful for you to meet just, 5-on-1, 6-on-1. So with that said, does anybody have questions that would be for the good of the group? Just things that you wondered while you were going through those rooms?
I have two things that I want to go over just real quickly. That
Awesome.
We've had an issue with one of our clients recently where a veterinarian did not do proper care, and the dogs ended up with $18,000 worth of medical care. Foreign body. If your dog is vomiting and not eating, and it's a golden or a lab or any breed, you got to think about that their dog may have eaten something and it's stuck. It could be a sock. It could be part of a toy. It could be sticks. It could be grass. If your dog is vomiting for a day, multiple vomitings, you've got to always think about that it could be a foreign body. This vet treated the dog as a belly upset. 5 days later, the intestines ruptured. It spent another 10 days in the hospital and almost $18,000 worth of vet bills to keep it alive. So I wanted to go over that. If your gut's telling you that there's something more with this dog that's wrong, and your vet didn't diagnose it, anytime, day or night, call me. I will help you talk through if it's a possible, let's talk about this. Let's look at the symptoms. The guy went into the vet saying my dog ate a coleus plant. And my first thought when he told me the dog ate a coleus plant, the dog ate the coleus plant because the belly was upset. The belly did not get upset because of the coleus plant. And that's the way the vet treated it. The dog was trying to find some relief for why its belly was hurting, and that instinct is to eat grass, or what he had access to was a coleus. So if you don't feel like your vet has given you the proper, never question whether to call and bother me day or night. I will answer the phone for any legitimate emergency or a question. I'd rather you guys call and we save a dog. We had a dog also recently get run at 10 o'clock in the morning for 2.5, 3 miles and died from heat stroke. One of our breeder dogs. And I won't discuss how much of an idiot that, took the dog into the vet, didn't bother to let us know the dog was in the vet, and the dog died the next day. There's no excuse for that kind of stuff. You can't fix stupid. And that was taking a dog running at 10 o'clock on one of the hottest days in Florida. This was 2 Saturdays ago. And you all know how hot it was, and ran it for 2.5, 3 miles. And when the dog's foot was bleeding from the back because it was too weak to keep going, he still walked it home. So, yeah. So that's one of them. The other one that I realized while we were, and you really, in this heat, dogs should not be being run. Be really careful. I took Ellis out for a walk the other day and did about a mile because she was so full of it. And it took her about 2 hours to recover from that heat. It's a lot harder to recover. It builds up in them really fast. So be really careful of it. If your dog's just that tongue saying, don't overdo it. We're in the heat of the day, if you can't
Settle.
handle the heat, either can your dog. And they're acclimated to being in the air conditioning. So when you're taking them out and all of a sudden you're running them for a mile or 2 or 3, and young dogs under 16, 18 months of age shouldn't be run anyhow because their growth plates aren't closed and it can cause problems and do damage to their hips and joints. So just, think and be careful. And like I said, if you're questioning whether your vet's care was appropriate, call us. If your gut is saying there's something wrong with this dog, there probably is. Your dogs. My vets are available to me most 24 hours a day. And if I need to, I've got a lot of medical knowledge, or I can reach out to somebody that's got it. So please don't be afraid to call. Second one of the things we teach in team training is using a big, the carabiners, like the 6-inch carabiners. They sell at the grocery store, at the hardware store, everywhere.
Uh-oh, Janet, you.
I did what?
No, you're good.
Okay. We use that in a car to hook a leash over so that when you open the door, a dog cannot accidentally jump out and go run into traffic. And I realized that we normally don't teach our puppy raisers that.
No, we don't.
What?
I said, no, we don't.
No, but we teach our clients that, and these dogs are older and more trained. We should be doing that with our pups in training also. Get one of those big carabiners, clip it on your seat belts, clip it on your headrest, hook that leash over when you've taught. Yeah, like what?
This is a small
That's
one.
a little one.
That it is, but it's the idea. I have a bigger one in my car.
Yeah, and just slip that leash over so you can practice that weight. That I was telling that Ellis has learned that she can jump out ahead of me. So I'm going to have to work really hard because she's going to jump out at some point and get hit.
Yeah.
It's a great way. It's an extra safety precaution that can keep a dog alive. And if they jump out and the leash stops them, it's a great correction. They're like, oh, it got me. And you'll have, and practice that weight, tug on that leash, practice that weight, but use that carabiner as a safety, as a safety net.
The hands-free leashes have a latch at both ends, and lots of the SUVs have a tie down. And so we just use the one end of the leash is on the collar, the other end is on the tie down. And that does exactly that. They can jump out, they don't strangle themselves jumping out, but they can't take off. And we do just have pups. So we're starting with the weight before the gate opens. And so we are starting it.
Yeah, I will put my dogs back in if they don't wait and they jump out. I will make them get back in the vehicle and do it again. I will even close the door to my vehicle and we go, okay, let's do it again. So,
absolutely. But that carabiner is just a nice safety.
Yes.
Yep.
A safety thing.
Yep.
But remember, they're not using the carabiner. The dog should not be attached by collar while the car's moving. That's all she's talking about, only when the car is parked.
What? What, Sean?
You don't want to leave a dog attached to a collar while the car is moving.
Why not?
So if you get into a car accident or anything like that.
Well, the odds of that happening are much less than a dog car door opening and the dog running. There's no way to hook that dog when you stop. It's one of those risks. It's the same way, it would be better to put the dog in a seatbelt, but most of our clients can't put it into a seatbelt restraint.
Right.
And then there's the pros and cons of putting it in a crate. Some crates are worse, and there's been dogs really hurt from the metal from crates versus being loose. There's a pros and cons for everything. The odds of the car accident where the dog's going to strangle because of the leash is probably a lot less than the dog door opening and that dog bolting in traffic.
Right. I mean, I'll do the carabiner thing as well, but when I get into the car, if I can reach it, I'll unhook it. That way they're not tethered.
Right. Well, you've got that. You've got the hands and the ability to do that, and
Right.
to remember to hook it before you open it back up.
I have a separate leash in there and I hook that leash in the car to the dead D ring. So it's not going to tighten on them, but it will protect them.
Yeah.
I also can do that because I have the hands ability. Janet's right. A lot of our clients don't have that ability to change that. It has to be super easy.
Right.
I have a question. Is it safer when you're like on the interstate or whatever to have the dog not tethered down, but in case there is an accident, is it safer to have the leash attached with the carabiner, or is it safer for them to be not attached? Which is the safest? Like if you're on the interstate or something like that.
Physics says
You've got both. I mean,
attached.
you can have an accident and the dog get out and bolt into traffic, or you can have an accident, the dog stays with the vehicle. There's no way to predict all of that.
Okay.
But just like you can't hold a child in your arms, physics say the object is going to be loose and fly.
Mhm.
A tethered dog would be safer for the occupants of the car, certainly, than untethered.
There's going to be pros and cons for every which way.
Yes.
But by having the dog tethered, I've known of people that the dogs have gotten loose and on the interstate, and they have actually found them days later. So it could be any of the, or that they found the dogs dead too, because they were, you can have every argument.
Worst case scenarios can work all directions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything
Drive
else?
safe.
Anything else?
We,
Especially
as
with
you
your
know-
dog. We don't
Yeah,
think
I
you
actually
drive
travel
it by
a lot.
yourself.
well, we travel a lot, of course, and of course the dogs are never in the trailer when we travel. They ride in the back of the truck. They are hooked, like Janet said, with a carabiner. We've had to do some hard braking because, there's an idiot in front of you. But we've never had one fly. We've never had one choke themselves. So we really we use the headrest and not our seatbelt system, because the back of the seatbelt is not as secure as it should be, to me, in the back seat of a truck. And we have one of those trucks with a big back seat like a regular car. But we find, at least hooked to the headrest with the leash, they are much better. They also, they do great with us that way. They have enough room to lay down and not interfere with each other. So
Okay.
it might be something
All
to
right.
consider.
Okay.
Do we have any other commands or any? Go ahead,
Any other
Wendy.
questions? Quick questions. Going once, going twice.
I have a silly one. So is it okay to let them have rawhides, or do you not want them eating those?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely, positively not. Most rawhides end up in their belly, and you've got to do $2,500 surgery to get them out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
They are horrible. They are no good. They are dangerous. It depends where they use formaldehyde to process them, depending on what country where they came from. Rawhides are a big no.
Okay. I'm glad I asked.
What about
Yeah.
what about
Now,
bully sticks instead?
bully sticks? We also have some really good bones that are hard, like nyla bones. Antlers are okay. Yep, I see an antler there. We have some really nice. Ellen, are you there? Grab one of those. Is there one of those bending? Oh, you're in the car.
Oh, she's in her car.
We have some really nice big Y-shaped bones that we've got at a really good price. I think we're selling for 10.
Yeah,
They normally sell for 20, and they're big, hard, and they'll last forever.
Yeah, those work well too, those rings.
Yeah.
But
I really
know, I
like
got a
the
Y.
Y-shaped bones. Does anybody have any of them from us? We've just gotten the special on them from them.
What are they called?
Benebone, B-E-N-E. It's the big brown shaped Y ones. We've got those available at our office. We have yeah, like that, but they're a little bit curved. Yeah, that's the idea, but they're bigger than that. They're even bigger than that. And they're really a good price. So Wendy, next time when you have class, we'll get you loaded up with some of those because they're good quality and we've got a good price on them. Oh, you've got one, Liz. Liz has got, see how big it is and it's curved?
Yeah, yeah, mine's little and flat, but
Yeah, we've got larges and extra larges and they hold
Okay,
up really
good.
well.
Good. Cool.
Dog tested, dog approved.
Yes.
And we have the jacks available too, the purple and white ones that the dogs love because they can hold it in their feet.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so I want to say thank you. We want to say thank you, guys. Thank you to the trainers who were in the rooms and sharing information. Again, we hope that you got some takeaways from today.
Wendy,
Yes.
if anybody has suggestions on good places to have class, like a train trip or a boat thing, or something fun that it would be a great place to expose the dogs, or there's maybe a horse show, or if you're thinking of things that could be a good kind of central location that would be a good outing, keep that in mind and call the office or let Wendy know some suggestions. Okay,
Yes.
I'll shut up.
Yes.
I can say in Hillsborough County, the Hillsborough County Fair starts the end of September this year. And I'm there almost every day. So if you wanted to try to have some kind of event there, you can let me know. I know it's during the week, but on the Wednesdays and Thursdays during the day, the fair's not even open till 5 and they'll let groups come in. So they do field trips and stuff, but it's not open to the public. The rides aren't on, none of that. So if you wanted to take the dogs in, there's animals there, they're all penned, and they could walk around and see that. And I'm sure that, as a group, they would let you in and there's no cost or anything.
That would be great to reschedule for the Tampa outing that didn't happen today. That could be maybe, a fair, to do a Saturday morning fair trip. So,
yeah. Can you send that information to Kate, please?
Yeah, I can send her the dates. And,
okay.
If she needs to reach out to me, I can get with the fair committee and stuff. But
that would be great. And tell her to please share it with Wendy.
Yeah. Okay. So just so you know, right now, we do have a training, our in-person training in September, I believe is at, I don't know why it's not like it's in DeLand. I believe it's at DeLand Fire Station. I think we've scheduled that. So that's the 25th of September.
When is that? When is the Hillsborough Fair, Joy?
We won't be there.
You're muted.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, there we go. It's the last weekend of September and then that weekend of October 2nd and 3rd.
So Wendy, why don't you reassess with her and think about that since this had to be canceled today.
Okay. Okay, so Joy, the last weekend, is that like
of September
24th and 25th?
right.
Yes,
And then
the 1st and 2nd.
the 1st and 2nd of October.
Yep, and they also have stuff going on like Wednesday, Thursday that's not always open to the public, but like I said, they do field trips and stuff like that. So I don't know what your volunteers have availability, but that would be.
Deb, isn't the dog show the DeLand dog show the weekend of the 24th, 25th also?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
I have
weekend of the
kids trying to
20th.
do both. So yeah.
Well, I'm showing my dachshund, and Eric and I will be there. We're going to be doing the RVs, parking RVs, and the things we normally do when I show. But
Okay. Yeah, my 9-year-old shows many long hairs with Marianne.
Okay. All right. Well,
Bye, all.
put the 25th down on your calendar just so you know, and the Zoom meetings will be sent out this week. The dates for September and October. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying. Hope you got something. Thank you, guys. Sean, Susan, Janet, Laura. Thank
Travel
you. Everybody.
safely.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.